Hi. Can I ever do this? Hi, my name is Kasia and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to a phone screen near you. Today I want to tell y'all about my worst job experience. In my long 19 years of living, I have had 1, 2, but I don't count that one, 3, 4, I'm on like my 5th job right now. I started working when I was 16. That's probably not a good thing, but I feel like it's a sign that I'm supposed to work for myself and not for other people. At least that's why I take it. For the sake of, you know, like people's privacy and potentially, I don't ever want to go back to that place, but maybe, like, you never know what happens. So for the sake of that, I'm going to keep the company I work for, like, I'm gonna keep it on the hush, unless you know me. And most of the people watching my videos know me, so you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna keep the company's name out of it, and I'm gonna switch up the names of my coworkers and things like that. So here's what we're gonna do. The main instigating coworker, we're gonna name her Beth. All right, so her name's gonna be Beth. Should call her Pillsbury. Anyways, and my manager's name, we're gonna call her Sarah for the sake of this video. So when I first started at this company, I loved it. I loved it. I saw myself staying there, getting boosted to assistant manager, then going up to regular manager and having my own store. I saw myself like being there long term. And that doesn't really happen too much, like, for me, but I loved it. I loved being able to help people and make people feel good about themselves, like, and have confidence in whatever they were trying to buy. So I loved it. And I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I was the best worker that they had at that particular store. So I loved it. My manager loved me. As far as I knew, my coworkers, we was all. Here's a little fun fact about me. After like 6 or 7 months, jobs just start to like, for me, and I wish I could explain why. Like, I have no idea why. I don't know what I do. What they do is really the question. So I'm getting like into the 6-month mark and I still love my job. I'm actually like being looked at for a promotion already and everything is going great. And then that 7th month hit. Obviously, when there's talk about an assistant position popping up, everybody has their pick on who they think is going to get the job, and all signs pointed to me. Duh. So Beth, oh dear sweet stupid Beth. So one day it was just supposed to be me and Beth working in the store, and it was shipment day. So that means one of us would have to bring in truck and the other one of us will have to work the store. Obviously, because both of us can't leave the store if we're the only 2 in there, because there's constantly customers coming in and out. One of us has to do customer service. I was going to bring in truck because obviously I was trying to get promoted, so truck is something I should have knowledge of doing and I should be able to do by myself. Things happened. Beth ended up doing it. At one point, Beth was a manager, but they told her quit, be fired, or get demoted. 3 options: take them or leave them. So she was forced on Sarah, and Sarah didn't want her. Sarah made it very clear that she was not wanted. But, you know, whatever. So she brought in truck. Obviously she brought in truck, and I obviously stayed on the floor because whoever was not bringing in truck had to stay on the floor. So you know, that was all done. I still hadn't gotten to take my break. I think I got off at 5 that day, and truck came late. I think truck didn't come till sometime between like 1 and 3 o'clock. So I was not able to take my break. I think truck didn't come till like 3 o'clock. So I was not able to take my break. So I think after truck is done, I go ahead and I take my break. I would hate taking my break when truck comes, because you're just sitting in a room full of boxes for 30 minutes and people still coming in and out because they have to put it out. I go ahead, I take my break, and by then it's like 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock, 4:30, we're almost 4:30, and they're telling me, all right, Kasia, like, come on, let's count your register down. And at this point, what happened? I feel like something happened. It was, I believe Beth was telling people that I wasn't doing anything all day and that she had to bring in truck all by herself. When in reality, she's the lazy one who does half stuff, and everybody knows that, and I'm the hardworking one, and everybody knows that. So I was already irritated. So I was like, no, y'all can wait to count down register. And I went and I started making cards to put shipment out. And she gets mad about that. I don't get it. I don't understand. But she got irritated because she wanted to make the cards for shipment. Let's also make a side note. At the time, I was 18, and at the time, she was 24. This whole story is really, really petty. So everything happens. I get off, I clock out, I go home. I think I was off the next day. Next thing you know, my old assistant manager is telling me that Beth complained about me to her, and she basically laughed in her face because couldn't nobody tell nobody about me. Come on now. Because they know how I am when I come to my job and how well I do my job. So what were you trying to accomplish? And everybody knows that you're lazy. And here's the irritating thing. Like, don't ever in your life fix your mouth to tell me that I don't act black. Like, don't ever fix your mouth to tell me no dumb stuff like that just because I know how to be professional. And that's the kind of things, those are the kind of things that Beth would say. And it was like, I'm sorry I don't talk the way I do to my man or my friends that I do at work, but that doesn't mean that I don't act. The ignorance in that workplace was crazy. So long story short, I don't even remember what exactly happened, but Sarah, my boss, ended up turning on me literally for no reason. When I tell you I was her favorite, I was her favorite. And Beth had been working the longest, but Sarah wasn't really feeling her because she's lazy. And to this day, she's still lazy. So, but I guess it was all of a seniority thing in her head. So the longer you had been there, I guess the more trustworthy you are, even if you're a bag of potatoes, mashed potatoes, and spoiled milk. Eventually, my boss turned on me and started being like cold towards me. When I tell you cold, like would not talk to me unless she wanted me to do something. And when she did, she had like a really, really harsh tone of voice. And it was strange to me because it was like, I did not do nothing to you. And then whenever they would try to talk to me, like if I voice my opinion, say Beth is running her mouth, and I say, hey, don't do that. If you have a problem, you can talk to me, we're adults. Then it's, oh, I felt so attacked, and da-da-da-da. And it was like, this is why I hate being, and I was the darkest one, the darkest employee that they had. because at one point I was the only black girl. My friend that's in my in one of my other videos, the light-skinned girl with the red hair, she used to work with me. So at one point I was the only black girl there, and that's why I hate being one of few, because I could never express myself and how I feel. I could never communicate without being called aggressive. Basically, they would be really cold toward me, really mean, really rude, and my mood would just decline. For me, when I'm in areas where I feed off of vibes and energy. So if I'm in a space where the energy is dark, that's what my mood is. So it would literally be, I'm on the way to work, jamming in the car, smiling, happy. I get out the car, my mood depletes, because I know what I'm walking into. I'm walking into BS. Why would I want to walk into BS? So they're just talking about me to everyone. They're talking about me to the other employees. They're talking about me to other managers. Just talking about how I'm so problematic and I don't get along with anyone, and I don't smile and I don't want to talk to anyone. But you're the same person who says, oh, don't worry about their coworkers because your coworkers don't pay your bills. I just decided to close my mouth and speak when spoken to. So I'm just floating about my day, helping people, doing my job that I've grown to hate, and all within a month. Crazy, all within a month. So me and my friend from our recent video, we decided to formulate a plan just to see how quickly Beth would snitch on me to Sarah about literally anything. So we decided to make a plan where I would talk crap about her to Beth. We're gonna call my friend Erin. That I was gonna talk about Erin to Beth and see how quickly it got to Sarah. So I did it. I was like, ugh, I can't stand her. You know, basically she doesn't know what she's doing. She thinks she's all that, da 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 da. She's like, oh really? And my thing is, I don't understand how people are that stupid. If this is someone who has constantly, continuously told me, don't speak to me unless it's about work, and I basically told her that we don't need to communicate unless it's about work. And then now I'm talking to you about somebody that I don't like. Are you stupid or are you dumb? Like, obviously I'm trying to set you up. Dummy. So, you know, I tell her, I'm rolling my eyes, I'm doing whatever, and then I go to Erin, I'm like, okay, I did it, okay, cool. And next thing you know, I did end up transferring stores. So my manager from the store I ended up transferring to, because I informed her, like, hey, this is what I plan on doing, just to show you how stupid it is here. And next thing you know, like 2 days later, I'm getting a phone call saying like, yeah, Sarah knows. And she was like, well, now Keisha doesn't get along with Erin, and she just doesn't want to get along with anybody, and da-da-da, just talking about me, but still working me as an assistant manager, still trusting me with her store, still doing everything but treating me bad. So I finally decided that I'm sick of this. I'm quitting. I'm leaving. So one day I got off of work and I called the other store and I just cried, because I was like, I can't be here anymore. I cannot be here anymore. I can't be in places that bring me back to old times in my life. I don't like being in places that make me uncomfortable in a bad way. There's good uncomfortable that is challenging you to do better. There's bad uncomfortable that's bringing you back, and that's what that was doing. So I was like, I cannot do it anymore. I cannot. So the next day I went in and I was like, hey, do I have to have a written out 2 weeks notice? And the look of shock that came across Sarah's face was actually disrespectful, because there's no way, and she was in her 50s. So it was like, you know how you're acting and you know what you're doing, so the fact that you're still shocked makes me want to kick you in your neck. And then she wanted to pull me in No, because I had gotten another job. I had went back to an old job and told her like, yeah, I'm cutting my hours down to like 15 hours a week max. And then I decided, nope, forget that, I'ma just quit. And she was like, well, hopefully you can come back one day and we can train you for the assistant manager spot. Sit and rotate, ho. Long story short, I was loved, I was mistreated, I was stereotyped, and I quit. Because nobody is gonna disrupt my peace. I always tell people, once me and Cameron got together, all stupidity vanished from my life. So when stupidity comes back, it triggers me times 10. But that was basically it. That was my worst job experience. And it was only because I felt trapped. I could not speak without being stereotyped the angry black girl, and I hate it. But that's just all because of where I live. But you know, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like, please subscribe to my channel. Sorry for another awkward story time, but I'm trying to tell stories in like an entertaining way, but I'm not funny, so but do not forget, I have social medias. They will all be right here, and I have all the same ad names, so you don't even have to remember a bunch of different ad names. You are welcome. But I thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.